Hi, I'm Christiana Zenner from Fordham University, and it's great to be here to talk about water and theology and ethics. So water and theology have not historically been topics that people thought about in terms of ethics. Obviously in theology, people think about baptism, people think about blessing of waters, but now it's very important to think about theology and values for fresh waters, because fresh waters are increasingly scarce, increasingly used in the world, and theology is one type of conversation that helps us to think more critically and in important ways beyond economic paradigms, beyond extractive paradigms, about the value of water, who gets water, who is entitled to water, and how it can be thought of as a life-giving substance for the common good and for many future generations. Well, there are about 4 things I really want people to know about fresh water in the world in their lives today. The first is that no matter who you are or where you are, there is a way that your life intersects with water. So whatever your skills are, whatever your geography is, whatever your nationality is, think about how those things intersect. If you're a lawyer, you can think about human rights to water and the rights of nature. If you're an economist, you can think about economic and more than economic values for fresh water and how to incorporate those into economic paradigms that recognize ecology. Lots of ways. The second thing is that there are many, many groups already doing so much good work in law, in theology, in social action, and in technological development and advocacy on matters of water exactly where you are. So start learning about your watershed and where your water comes from and what the water issues are in your place, and then join up with these groups. You can join forces and support them and learn more and support one another in the process. The third thing that I want you to know is that there are different kinds of uses of fresh water. So water policy people refer to consumptive uses of water, which means that water is taken from the watershed but not returned to the watershed in any meaningful way. It's consumed, it's used up in an important way in, say, agriculture, in industry like mining and extraction and manufacturing, and increasingly in technology and data centers. So these are some really big consumptive uses of water in the present day, and we have a lot of need to think through how those uses are being prioritized by our governments and corporations. This relates to the fourth point, which is access to fresh water, the health of rivers, the health of waters now and for future generations is not just about my individual action or your individual action. Those are important. We need to cultivate water virtue, but we need to think about these systems, these corporations, these extractive tendencies and pollution on the big scale. And those are the questions that I invite you to think about today. La Cumbre was a fantastic event in Iquitos during the first week of October 2025. More than 400 people from more than 10 countries and 14 regions of the Amazon came together, hosted by a number of Catholic organizations, to think about fresh water as a gift of God and a good of creation, and also especially from perspectives of women, of younger generations, and of indigenous peoples. It was the first event of its kind that I have attended where a very powerful institution like the Catholic Church, and yes, one with a colonialist legacy, has been interested in talking with many people from many different groups in the Amazon about what water's values are, why it is a spiritual matter, and what kind of advocacy is needed. And a really important declaration on Somos Agua, Somos Vida, Somos Esperanza. It came out of that will be looked at and reviewed and signed by many, many stakeholders. So keep your eyes out for it. It's very exciting and very, very important work for the Amazon, which in so many ways is the heart of the planet. In many ways, the Amazon is the heart of the planet as well as the lungs. You know, we've all thought a lot about the deforestation of the Amazon, and that is so difficult and so tragic, and extractivism and illegal agriculture and so forth need to be addressed. But in addition, the waters that flow through the Amazon are what help to keep the Amazon ecosystem and the indigenous groups that live there flourishing and healthy. And the waters of the Amazon also help to nourish so many waters in South America and the oceans beyond. So thinking about the Amazon and waters is also a way to think about both our local places as well as global communities. And there are many issues that intersect there. Pollution, climate change, deforestation, and especially mining, both legal and illegal. Extractivismo and the effects from contamination are very, very real, both on ecosystems and on communities. And so in many ways, this is a case study and a test for how humans are going to care for waters on our planet for now and for future generations. Thank you so much. It's been great to talk with you.